What's up, guys, and welcome back to In the Pressbox episode 43. Today we have NFL, college football, Tennessee Vols, debate game, and predictions. My name is Benjamin, and you guys are?
Aiden.
Howdy. It's Alex.
All right, great to be back. NFL, let's talk about Thursday Night Football last night. The Giants and the 49ers faced off in Santa Clara. That 49ers offense was cooking, one of the best teams in the league. Meanwhile, the Giants have struggled, losing to the Cowboys 40-0, barely beating the Cardinals, and then not looking in it in the last game. The Giants have been a massive disappointment. Aiden, how big of a disappointment do you think the Giants have been this year?
I think the Giants have definitely been a disappointing team so far. I mean, they played against the Cowboys in the first week of the first regular season game for them, and they got destroyed. I think the Cowboys are a really good team. They've looked really good. And then the second week they played against the Arizona Cardinals, where I feel like it's the Arizona Cardinals. They're one of the. I think they are the worst team in the league. So I think that win really is just a win that anyone could get at this point in the league. And then they just played yesterday. They played against the 49ers, and they did not do good. And I think the Cowboys and the 49ers are the two best teams in the NFC. So what does this tell me? It tells me that the Giants, they really can't beat these high level teams, and they may play these these teams are not really that good here and there. But I think this Giants team has really been struggling. I don't see them, if they do make the playoffs, they definitely wouldn't do good. And I don't even see them making the playoffs. So definitely a struggle this year. What do you think, Alex?
Yeah, I couldn't say really better to myself, but you said when they're playing these little teams, they may get the win. But I would feel like, in my opinion, the littlest of the little teams is the Arizona Cardinals right now, and they didn't look too well against the Cardinals. So, Benjamin, what are your kind of thoughts on about the Giants in particular, and then we could get into other teams like the Niners?
Yeah, I mean, the Giants are a disaster. They start off on Sunday Night Football against the Cowboys. They didn't even show up. They didn't show up at all. The offense is a disaster. The defense lacks heart or any will to win. The against the Cardinals, it took them a whole 3 quarters of football before they woke up and finally decided to win. I mean, they made Josh Dobbs look like a top 10 quarterback in the league for the first 3 quarters. Josh Dobbs is great. He's not top 10. I don't care what you say, Alex.
Number 3. That's top three.
Alex, I don't want to hear it. And they barely beat the Cardinals. And then against the 49ers last night, it just wasn't working. It wasn't clicking. And this 49ers team's really good, though. I will say they faced the Cowboys, who are really good. They faced the 49ers. In my opinion, the 2 best teams in the NFC they've actually faced right now, in my opinion. But what do you guys think in terms of what do you think about this 49ers team? You got Brock Purdy coming back, George Kittle, Brandon Ayuk's looked really good, Debo,
Christian
McCaffrey. This offense is loaded. What do you guys think about this 49ers team? Could you see them making a run this year deep in the playoffs?
I see them being the NFC champions. I mean, either them or the Cowboys, like you said. But I think the 49ers, they also have a really good defense. So if they go against Dak Prescott and the Cowboys offense, I think there's definitely I'd say there would be definitely fear for the Cowboys, because the 49ers defense is also looking good. And then obviously you mentioned all of their offensive key players like Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, Debo Samuel, George Kittle, all those names. And it just feels like the 49ers are just one of the best teams, if not the best team in the NFL. So I think the 49ers will definitely make a run. Do you think the 49ers will make a run, Benjamin?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I think Aiden and I are right on par here. We're agreeing in terms of Cowboys and 49ers are the 2 favorites in the NFC. I'm not liking this Eagles team a lot. I think A.J. Brown's being a diva yet again. That's going to screw him up. Just watch. That's my prediction. Just watch. That's all you got to do. Just watch the Eagles. I don't want to hear, oh, you've got A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Just watch and see what they do. And then come back. Just come back. Play this later. Just watch.
And since we're kind of talking about I feel like we've gotten on to who's good for the NFC. What about the AFC? I feel like the AFC is really weird. You got the Chiefs, who I don't think they look at the best team. You got the Bills, who lost to the Jets. I mean, I just feel like the AFC is a little bit weird right now. So what do you think about the AFC? Do you have a favorite as of right now, or is it just
Yeah, I mean, if I if I had to choose it, it's got to be the Chiefs still. I mean, you got Patrick Mahomes, and that I still do believe in this Bengals team. I think once Joe Burrow can kind of get the calf injury sorted out, I think that they can do it. I'm also really liking this Ravens team. This Ravens team, 2-0. They've been flying a little bit under the radar. They got
Because
Lamar
Ravens
Jackson
fly.
looking good. You know, Alex, what do you think? What do you think about this AFC?
I mean, it's pretty good. Like Aiden said, I don't see a for sure favorite, but I still think the teams that, like, oh my gosh, what happened? I think those teams are still going to be pretty good.
Yeah.
Whether they may not obviously be undefeated, but they're going to be good.
Yeah, let's talk about another AFC team here. Our AFC team. Let's talk about the Titans. The Titans getting a big win at home against the Chargers. How about Nick Folk? Man, he has been performing so far for the Titans, draining that OT winner. Now we're going to face the Browns. This offense, let's not let them fool us. They did not look good in that first quarter at all. Then Treylon Burks wakes them up with that big-time catch and throw. I don't know about this Titans offense. Personally, I'm still very, very, very on edge about them. And I feel like against this Browns team in Cleveland, this could be a total defensive barn burner, in my opinion. What do you guys think about this Titans offense in Cleveland?
Alex, we'll start with you.
Well, I mean, I feel like it's not the best right now. We're kind of struggling a little bit, but I mean, we're doing pretty good, and we got to win. Doesn't matter who against. We should have had 2 wins. The Saints, that was completely rigged in my opinion. But you know what? That's past us, and I believe that we can have the potential to go far.
Aiden?
I tell you that this Titans offense, they definitely weren't awake in the first quarter, but I mean, it's always anyone's first quarter of the game could definitely be a struggle for a little bit, and you got to kind of wake up. But I feel like later on in the season, we'll hopefully start off the first quarter good, because once you're hot, hopefully you stay hot. But I don't know. But I feel like the Titans offense is definitely like really good, and you also have Spears and as your secondary running back, and then Derrick Henry, like you said, Treylon Burks, and I feel like DeAndre Hopkins had made a few good catches to let us get in scoring position to win the game there at the end. And also, I want to say that what was that other big catch in the game towards the later in the game?
Westbrook Akine in the back of the end zone was one that I can think of.
Yeah. I'm not talking about
Chris Moore.
Yeah, Chris Moore catch. That was like a clutch catch. I feel like if we didn't score that drive, because we ended up scoring a touchdown that drive. So if he didn't make that catch, who would have known if we would have won or not? So I think that's a huge catch of the game as well.
Yeah. Let's list here. We'll start off with Alex. Alex, what's a surprising 2-0 team in the NFL in your opinion? What's one team that kind of surprised you where you're like, oh wow, like that team's actually 2-0? Who are you going to go with?
I'm going to the 2-0 teams. Certainly, I would have to say the Falcons.
The Falcons are 2-0?
Yeah, they're 2-0.
Wow. Okay. There's the definition.
They gotta
right
win
there.
They got to win against the Packers and win against the Panthers.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, the Falcons are definitely a surprise. Alex,
And then can I also say one more other team?
Mm-hmm.
It's either going to be the Dolphins or the Commanders.
Yeah. What's a surprising 0-2 team in your opinion? A team that you're kind of surprised that they're struggling.
Okay, let me go back to.
I don't know the answer.
You know your answer, Aiden?
Yeah.
I got mine.
All right. So you're talking about the 0-2 team?
Yeah.
I think for me it'd be the Chargers, because I feel like the Chargers, I feel like they had higher expectations, and they started off the season 0-2 this far. So I think the Chargers is some team that has surprised me that they're 0-2 still, and they should be 1-1 because the Titans obviously would have beat them. But anyway, they should have won their first game, and I feel like they have higher expectations.
My 0-2 team would have to be the Vikings and the Patriots.
Yeah. That sounds for me. My 2-0 team is going to be the Commanders. This Commanders team has looked really good, and they're 2-0. 0-2. Surprised about the Chargers. I agree with you guys. The Chargers had definitely high expectations, like Aiden said. So disappointing. Let's move on to
Hold on,
college
wait, hold
football.
on. Sorry, I didn't say my 2-0 team. Is it okay if I say it real quick?
Yeah.
I think my 2-0 team would definitely be the Cowboys. I don't know if that's like a good one because I feel like the way Dak Prescott was doing in the offseason and like in training and then like preseason, I don't know, and then like he had a lot of interceptions. I feel like I didn't really see the Cowboys looking good this season, and they've done really well. So that's some team that I think has surprised me, but I feel like now they're really, really good.
Speaking of Cowboys, Trayvon Diggs tore his ACL last night. That's not good. Let's move on. Let's move on to college football. Okay. First of all, let's dive into Colorado. Colorado's been the main story of college football. What did you guys see that hit there on Travis Hunter? Did you think that was clean or no? Just yes or no, simple.
I wish they would have did it harder.
Okay. Aiden?
It was not clean.
Yeah, that was not a clean hit at all. I mean that there's no place in the game for that. That was just a terrible hit, and now he's out for like 4 weeks from that. That was ridiculous. But man, what a game it was. Let's dive into some of these week's matchups, some big matchups.
No. I think you're skipping something pretty big.
We got what?
The Titans-Florida game or the Tennessee-Florida game.
Oh yeah, that's why we have a whole segment called Vols dedicated to just that game.
Oh, I didn't see that.
Yeah, I know. You don't read the schedule. No, so Florida State and Clemson here. That's a big matchup. We got Oregon and Colorado, Iowa and Penn State, and then the big one, Ohio State and Notre Dame. What matchup are you most excited to watch this weekend besides the Vols? The Vols do not count. What other matchup are you most excited to watch? Let's start off with Alex.
I would say the Colorado-Oregon game. Just to show, it's not for Colorado, but just to show to fans that that they're really not good. Colorado's really not good. They're just overhyped, overrated. There's no reason in the last 30 years or in the future of 30 years that Colorado should ever be ranked higher than Tennessee. That is plain dumb ridiculous. And it's stupid and it's dumb and it's really screwing us over.
Okay, Aiden, what do you think? What other matchup for you?
For me, it definitely has to be Ole Miss versus Alabama because I feel like Alabama, they have been struggling a little bit, and I feel like they lost to Texas and then they played against South Florida, and I think that they didn't really look too good for them. So I think that if Ole Miss we could see if a test for Alabama to see if they're actually good or not while them playing Ole Miss. Definitely an interesting game. What about you, Benjamin?
I got to go Ohio State and Notre Dame. Number 6 versus number 9 in South Bend. That's a massive game. Two really good teams who get their act together and know how to win big football games. Let's talk about, just like what Aiden was talking about, let's talk about that Tide struggles. No quarterback there. Are you guys officially worried about the Crimson Tide and their playoff hopes this year? Because I sure am.
No, well, when would a Tennessee fan ever be worried about Alabama?
Do you think that Alabama's going to make the playoff or no?
Yeah, they will because they got biased. The whole NCAA is biased to Colorado and Alabama.
I'd say they won't. They didn't make it. They didn't make it last year, and until they prove that they can, I don't think they will.
Thank you. A realistic answer from Aiden. Just answer. That's all. That's all we got.
Everyone's biased.
That's all we got to do. Save it for later. There's no excuses. We'll dive into that later. They
got destroyed by Texas, and they're still higher than Tennessee.
You just lost to Florida, and we're down 26-7 at halftime against Florida.
Bad calls. Halftime is just a half of the game. That's why they call it halftime.
Exactly. Joe Milton is absolutely trash. Absolute trash.
He just threw his first interception in the last 3 years.
Joe Milton is absolute dog water. He is terrible. You cannot possibly tell me Joe Milton is a Heisman caliber quarterback.
Well, I just heard you said that Alabama doesn't have a quarterback. So does Tennessee not have a quarterback, or does Alabama not have a quarterback?
Both don't, actually, and I'll tell you why in a second.
Well, we have Nico. We have another person.
So you're already ready to move on from Joe Milton? Is that what I'm hearing?
No, I'm just saying we have other people. We have quarterback room too.
Yeah, it's time to move on from Joe Milton. Okay, let's talk debate game. Okay, let's talk debate game. Aiden and Alex debate. Okay, I'll host it. Then we'll rotate. I'll debate one of you guys next week. let's dive into it. Here's the debate question of the episode. Are you guys ready?
Yes.
Okay. The debate question of the episode that you guys will be debating on is, could the Cowboys win the Super Bowl? Or how far can the Cowboys go, depending on like what your answers are. But we're going to start off with, could the Cowboys win the Super Bowl? Let's have Alex
No.
first.
Can we just do heads or tails?
Sure.
Aiden, do you have heads or tails?
I got tails.
Alexa, flip a coin.
Okay. You got tails.
All right. I don't know if you could hear it, but I talked to Alexa, and she said tail.
All right. So, Aiden, you pick. Which order do you want to go in?
I want to go second.
Okay, Alex, present first.
All right. I personally see the Cowboys can make it into the. Wait, do we have a minute going?
Yeah, we're going.
Okay, I personally see the Cowboys being able to make it in the Super Bowl because they're a great team. They have grit. However, something that's not talked about enough is Trevon Diggs being hurt. That's going to make a terrible, and I feel like, in my opinion, bad, kind of defense. But, they have the offense. They have the tradition. They're going to sign some good people if they need to. The Cowboys know how to make the right moves when it comes to getting into the Super Bowl, and they kind of haven't won it in a while, but I certainly can see them going to the Super Bowl and potentially winning it because, like we discussed previously, there's not a consistent number one team in the AFC.
And so here's why I think the Cowboys should. I think the Cowboys are going to win the Super Bowl. Not win the Super Bowl, my bad. They're going to go to the Super Bowl and make a Super Bowl run because I think you don't want to look. People don't look at is they also look at the strength of the Cowboys' schedule. I mean, next week they'll play against the Cardinals. Then the week after that they'll play the Patriots. Then they'll play the 49ers after that. But I mean, besides that, they're playing against the Chargers, the Rams. They'll play the Eagles, and then they'll play the Giants again, Panthers, then Commanders, and Seahawks. So I think overall their strength of schedule is really in favor for them. So I think they're gonna win a lot of games. And I feel like their offense is super, super good. Dak Prescott has definitely shown up, and I think, I feel like the way they are, I feel like the Cowboys are really gonna make a Super Bowl run because they're looking really, really good. They won the first game 40-3, then they won the second game 30-10. So it just shows that they're really good at offense and defense.
Okay. All right. Are you guys ready?
Can I say something real quick, like why I think I should win?
No.
Aiden said strength of schedule, and that doesn't matter to get in the Super Bowl.
Okay. So here's why each side. Here's some good things. I think Alex presented a compelling argument. It was a little bit confusing because I actually couldn't tell what his official stance was. And then Aiden presented a also compelling argument, except it was confusing because of the strength of schedule, and the Cowboys' offense is good, but didn't say why. So, with that said, give me a drum roll.
We're going in a minute. You can't fully say it.
The winner of this debate, and who will get 10 prediction points added to their total, is Alex Lee. All right, Alex, you get 10 prediction points. I'm going to give it to Alex just given the fact that he did at least back up with a little bit more information, and I thought he presented actually a pretty good argument.
Wait, every single debate segment is going to be 10 prediction points?
I don't like that. That's a lot.
You don't want 10 prediction points? Okay, no prediction points then.
Okay.
All right.
I feel like that wouldn't be fair for me because I feel like everyone's just going to say not me because I'm winning.
That's kind of a good point. We'll have to figure that out. Let's talk. Let's talk Vols. All right, let's get into this segment. Okay, guys. So let's talk Vols here. First, before we start anything, I got some stuff. Okay, that I need to play before we address the Vols' loss in Florida. Let me play it. Okay.
Will be dominant. It don't matter who's in his way, who's on the defense. If he has an offensive line, he's chucking 100 yards. Who doesn't want that arm? Who doesn't want a cannon?
So that's what Alex says about Joe Milton.
I mean, he just had a cannon. He did have a cannon.
He says, we will be dominant. Who doesn't want that on? I got another recording to play. Listen to this.
We were dominant. You know who was dominant? That was Calls.
Hold on. Please stop talking. So you said, just to recap, you said Heisman and Joe Milton and Coach of the Year and Josh Heupel? So Heisman and Joe Milton and Coach of the Year and Josh Heupel, okay? Well, I got one final recording. Can you confirm to me that everything that you just said, you are 100% serious about?
Yeah.
And then he says, I'm serious about this. So let's recap. He said, the Vols are going to be dominant. He said earlier, I will be turning off my TV because the Vols are so dominant. Then he said, Joe Milton for Heisman, Josh Heupel for Coach of the Year, and that he is 100% serious. Let's look at what the Vols have done so far. The Vols have struggled immensely.
Against who?
Austin P.
No, they didn't struggle. No. First of all, we did not say a single thing about Alabama when they barely beat USF. And that's just saying it, first of all. And then Austin Peay, those refs are terrible. You can go back and watch the game, but you weren't watching the game. You were still stuck up in Colorado's butt.
But we aren't talking about Alabama or Colorado. We're talking about Tennessee.
But exactly, you didn't watch the Alabama.
I did. That's actually not true.
Anyone that watched the Tennessee game against Austin Peay knew there was terrible calls. We should have had at least 2 more or 3 more touchdowns. And obviously, it wasn't the best game, but I mean, we were pretty good. And we're gonna prove the world this Friday or this Saturday, UTSA, baby.
Nobody cares because UTSA is not a good opponent.
Yeah, they are. They're ranked. They were ranked last year.
Hold on.
They're consistently number 1 in Conference USA, and I think
Austin Peay. Let's break it down. Austin Peay puts up 13 points in the first half. Before you say the refs or you come with the ref excuse, the refs have been bad, but good teams overcome that. There is going to be naturally some bad refs in college football. And I have seen plenty of teams overcome that. You look at the former Alabama team.
They overcome 3 touchdowns called back. 3 touchdowns against Florida. 2 touchdowns against Austin Peay. Multiple.
I'll let you spit out. All I'll say is that your predictions, this is monumentally off. Because Joe Milton is not a Heisman candidate. Let's be honest. You know what I've always said about Joe Milton? Just watch. Let all the people hype him up. Just watch.
Yeah, I did watch. I didn't see a single in the last 3 years. I did not see a single interception.
When you watch Joe
He's
Milton,
thrown 1 interception. How much has Caleb Williams thrown last year? How much did he throw last year?
Just watch.
How much did Caleb Williams throw last year?
Just what? We're not talking about USC or Caleb Williams.
Exactly. Because you're just saying useless stuff to bring up against the point that you want to hate Joe Milton.
Joe Milton.
Stick to choosing on Vanderbilt. Trust me. I would be hating other people if my team sucked like that.
Inaccurate. Number 1. Number 2. Doesn't have the clutch gene. Number 3. I mean, come on. Like what was that interception? Let's be honest. What was that interception?
He got hit while he threw it. He
got hit, and instead of just taking a sack and doing the smart play, he chucks it up in the air like an arm punt, and it's caught. Let's bring Aiden. Aiden, what do you think about this?
Well, I mean, it's certainly not his fault. I don't care what Aiden thinks about it. Those refs were terrible. Those calls were terrible, and you didn't even know it. The announcers were saying it. You were saying it. So don't act now, or I can pull up those texts and drop it on the community post.
I agree that the refs were terrible. I'm talking about Joe
Milton. 4 touchdowns called back.
I agree that the refs were terrible, but with all that being said, good teams can overcome that. That's all I'm trying to say. Let me conclude. Hold on. Let me conclude with my final statement. Then I'll let you and Aiden talk about it. My final statement is the Tennessee Volunteers have been screwed over by the refs. Joe Milton's not looked great. The receivers have a massive receiver issue, whether you guys want to admit it or not. Okay? Joe Milton is not the Heisman. Just watch. Joe Milton, let Joe Milton do the talking. That's all I gotta say. Just watch. Tennessee's ranked 23rd. Good luck.
I could say that even if Hendon Hooker was in the game, Tennessee would have lost, because I think that no matter who would have played at the quarterback, then Tennessee would have lost, because it's not Joe Milton's fault. It doesn't really. It's not, because you get Jeremy Pruitt recruited offensive line in there, and they don't do good. And then you get the refs who won't even let you go back in the game. And I mean, it's not. I wouldn't blame the first thing. I wouldn't blame it as Joe Milton. I think Joe Milton did his job. He did everything he did, and if they had one interception in the first 3 years, it doesn't matter or not, because I think that Joe Milton overall, he played really good that game, and I think that it was a terrible O-line. I feel like with the difference between this year and last year's, we had a really good O-lines. I feel like not Joe Milton. I feel like Hendon Hooker had more time to stay in the pocket to get the passes, and then I feel like the receivers, I feel like they're doing their job. I feel like they're doing really good. I think maybe they had a few drop passes in Austin Peay, but that's fine, because we're not playing against an SEC team yet until we played Florida, and then Florida I feel like the receivers did their job. I feel like everyone did their jobs, and I think it was just the refs that really didn't do a thing, and then offensive line. So I think that Joe Milton is not the first to blame, and therefore I feel like he still could potentially be a Heisman, and I feel like he could potentially have a really, really good season. And that's all I got to say.
All right, give me the mic. All right, well,
Alex, come on.
I do have to agree with Benjamin a little bit. I wouldn't say it's like we're a number one team, because we certainly have not played like a number one team. But as far as Austin Peay game, we kind of struggled the first half. There's no ands, buts, or debates about it. And the calls weren't really that bad in the first half, too bad. But, I mean, we're not going to show all of our offense before we start SEC. That's just plumb stupid. Every coach knows that, whether they want to admit it or don't. But as far as the Florida game, the final couple of plays, really the game changer. First it was third down, and we got a nice tackle, and we would have got the ball back. But instead, we get a 15-yard penalty for blindside block when it was right in his chin. It would have been they would have called it better if it would have been a targeting than blindside block. That's how you know the call was terrible. Now we just stop them again. We get the ball back. We get holding calls. We don't get holding calls all the way until we get to the end zone. We're about at the 15-yard line. We throw it. Pass interference, no called. Throw it again. Pass interference, no called. We throw it again. Incomplete. Holding called. Fourth down. Another terrible call to end the game, and we just lost because of that. And we can go back to the second quarter, the third quarter, and even the fourth quarter especially. And even to end the game, they punched our guy, and we got the same punishment for pushing the guy that the Florida did, just completely punching our guy. If Tennessee would have did that, the whole team would have got suspended for 4 games.
You know what? I agree with you, Alex. I actually do agree. First of all, the refs have been inexcusable, especially in that second half of that Florida game and the whole game. A lot of times Florida was holding you guys on those screenplays. That final plays in those games, and I texted you too about this. The refs screwed you guys over. You guys weren't the best, but they didn't give you a chance to get back in the game. I agree. Here's the thing. First of all, you're right. Holding, penalty, pass interference. And that final play, the guy never kneeled down. So there should have never been a penalty on Tennessee because he actually never took a knee when he was hit.
There was 16 seconds, too.
That was a legal hit. And instead, now everybody gets penalties. There's punches being thrown. My summary is the refs have screwed you guys over. Believe it or not. The refs have screwed Tennessee over. And I'm very curious to see what the NCAA does to address this against UTSA. That's my final thoughts.
What about
Any final thoughts before we move on to predictions and round this episode out?
Tennessee's gonna win out the rest of their season.
That is extremely bold. and actually it could happen. Alex, any final thoughts?
I agree with Aiden.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Let's move on to predictions. We have upset pick of the week. We got a good chunk of predictions to get through, and then we'll wrap up the episode. Sound good?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Okay. All right. I think, is Alex there?
Yeah, I'm there.
All right. So we'll have upset pick of the week in predictions again back this week. All right. Here we go, you guys. Let's start off with predictions. Start off with Rutgers and Michigan. Who do you guys have?
I have I have Michigan.
Michigan.
Michigan as well. Florida State and Clemson. Who do you have?
I have Florida State.
Let me pull this up. Florida State and who?
Clemson.
Clemson. Right, Florida State.
And that brings me to my upset pick of the week. Right off the bat, give me Clemson at home in Death Valley against Florida State. Upset pick of the week. Does anybody want to wager?
No.
Okay. All right. Let's move on. Oklahoma and Cincinnati. I got Oklahoma. Who do you guys have?
I have Oklahoma.
Just like Oklahoma, I'm becoming Sooner.
Okay. I got that. All right. I just had to read a text. Vanderbilt and Kentucky. I got Kentucky in that.
I have Kentucky.
I mean, you may think I'm wild, you may think I'm a cat. I got Kentucky.
Colorado and
growl.
Colorado. No, I did not. Colorado and actually, I could like a wildcat maybe. Do wildcats growl?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what
Okay,
the definition of wildcat is.
Wait. Let's. That was weird. Let's just move on. Okay, Colorado and Oregon. I got Oregon.
I also got Oregon.
Oregon big, by the way.
I got Oregon.
Yeah, Colorado won't stand a chance. UCLA versus Utah. I got UCLA in that one.
I have Utah.
Is this an upset pick if I put UCLA?
Yeah, that could be.
Wait, let me go to the odds.
I think that's definitely because Utah's playing what, their third string quarterback. Just because the rankings show it doesn't mean. I mean that in my opinion.
Yeah,
That's
Utah has a 65% chance to win.
Up to you.
All right, yeah, so I say that's upset.
Yeah, that's got to be an upset. So I'm not going to wager that because I agree with you. Okay. All right. What's the next one? Ole Miss and Alabama. I got the Tide in that one. Barely. Like, super close game.
I have my upset pick of the week. I got Ole Miss.
Ooh. Do you want to wager that?
Well, no, we can't. It's an upset pick of the
No,
week.
you can.
Yeah, you can now.
You can?
Yeah.
Oh, well, then I didn't know that. I would have wagered the UCLA and Utah game then.
Okay, well, you can. If you
Great. We'll do that. Too.
Okay. 2 points each. Sound good?
For UCLA and Utah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and then what about for Alabama and Ole Miss?
What do y'all want?
What did I say? Ole Miss.
Oh, you say Ole Miss?
Mm-hmm.
I'll wager 2 points with each of you.
I'll do that.
What did Benjamin say?
I said I got the Tide in that one. Barely.
Yeah.
Okay. What's the next one here? Louisiana Tech against Nebraska. I got the Cornhuskers.
I got Nebraska.
I got Nebraska.
BYU and Kansas. I got BYU.
I have Kansas.
I have Kansas.
UTSA and Tennessee. I got the Volunteers big in that one.
I have
Bounce back game.
I have Tennessee.
I have Tennessee.
Arkansas and LSU. I've got the Tigers.
I have LSU.
I have LSU.
Oregon State and Washington State. I'm big on this Washington State side. Give me Washington State. Give me the Cougars.
I got Oregon State.
I got Oregon State.
I'm not going to wager that. UAB, that's a close game. UAB and Georgia. Georgia big.
I got Georgia.
I think Trent Dilfer is going to die today.
Okay, I don't know what. Texas and Baylor. Texas.
Okay, I meant like he was gonna die, like, and I like get like killed, but like that kind of sounded like a death.
I was gonna say, I think that maybe came out a little bit wrong.
Like, okay, don't get me arrested. Death. That was not a death threat.
Wow. Okay. Texas and Baylor. I got Texas big.
I got Texas.
Battle of Texas. I got Texas, baby. Just because Benjamin got rejected, that because Baylor does not have a broadcasting degree.
Yeah, that's a good point. Baylor get broadcasting degrees. Oh, the big one of the week: Ohio State and Notre Dame. Who do you guys have?
I got Ohio State.
Isn't do you know where the thing's gonna be? College game day.
Ohio, Notre Dame.
Okay, well I'm going with Ohio State.
I'm gonna go with Notre Dame. Does
No,
anyone
no.
want to wager?
I want to go Notre Dame too. Actually.
Oh, okay. Do you want to wager that, Aiden, though?
Yes, sir.
How much with us?
4 points each.
0 points for me.
So just 4 points with you, Benjamin?
Yep. Let's get it.
All right.
Okay, Iowa and Penn State, another good game. I got Penn State though, actually kind of big in that one.
I got Penn State.
I got Penn State, baby.
Okay, USC and Arizona State. I got USC.
I got Southern California.
I got South Carolina, baby.
Okay. California and Washington. Oh, I'm big on Washington's quarterback. I got Washington.
I got Washington.
I mean, book this game in a hotel, baby. Take this to Hotel California because Washington got the win.
Alex, what was your upset pick of the week? Have you got? Oh no, that's right. It was UCLA. Okay, Colts and the Ravens. I got the Ravens.
I got the Baltimore Ravens.
I got the Baltimore Colts.
Do you have the Colts or the Ravens?
Both have the Ravens.
Right, because like that's like both, right? Because it's the Colts and the Ravens.
Well, I don't know why I said that.
Who do you have though?
The Ravens.
Okay. That's what I thought, but like, okay. Titans and the Browns. Give me the Titans. Really, honestly, give me the Titans. Barely.
This could have been an upset pick of the week because I feel like the Browns are favored, but everyone's used an upset pick on college football, so I got the Titans.
By the way, Aiden, you can use, I'm pretty sure, upset. Okay. So,
All right, Falcons and Lions. I got the Lions.
Falcons. Titans.
I got the Lions.
And you had the Falcons or the Lions, Alex?
Falcons.
Okay. Do you want to wager or no?
No.
Okay. Saints and the Packers. Give me the Packers.
Give me the Packers.
I got the Saints.
Okay. Let me know. Just let me know. Just call if you want to wager. Texans and Jaguars. Give me the Jaguars.
Give me the Jaguars.
Give me the Jags.
I like that growl. Broncos and the Dolphins. Dolphins.
I got the Dolphins.
Dolphins, let's ride.
So the Dolphins, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, because like Broncos country, let's ride. Just in case, like I wasn't sure. Okay, Chargers and the Vikings. Vikings.
I got the Chargers.
I got the Vikings, baby. They're going to ruin their streak.
Aiden, call out if you want to wager. Yes or no?
No.
Okay, Patriots and the Jets. I got the Jets.
I got the Jets.
I got the Patriots.
Okay, Bills and the Commanders. Who do you guys have?
The Bills.
I mean, George Washington. Let's go, baby.
Yeah, I got the Commanders too, Alex. Panthers and the Seahawks. I got the Seahawks.
I got the Seahawks.
Wait, what's that? And do you see that?
No. Do you see behind you?
Oh, gosh. Okay, it was supposed to be a Seahawk joke, I see. But there was actually something.
I see.
But my cat just scared me, so that's why I screamed.
Cowboys and the Cardinals. Cowboys, big.
I got the Cowboys.
I had the Cowboys.
Bears and the Chiefs. I got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs.
I got the Chiefs, baby.
Steelers and the Raiders. Who do you guys have?
The Raiders.
I had the Steelers.
I have the Steelers too. Aiden, do you want to wager or no?
No, too close the game.
Eagles and the Buccaneers. Who do you have?
I got the Eagles.
The Buccaneers.
I got the Eagles. Okay.
Wager, Alex.
Yeah, do you want to wager? No?
No.
Okay. Rams and the Bengals. Who do you guys have?
The Bengals.
The mighty, mighty Bengals. The
I got the
mighty, mighty
Bengals.
Bengals.
I got that. Inter Miami versus Orlando SC. I got Inter Miami.
I have Inter Miami.
Wait.
We moved on to soccer.
Orlando SC.
Orlando?
That's what I said.
You want to wager?
No.
Earthquakes in Nashville SC. I've got Nashville to round us out.
I got Nashville.
I will pick the Nashville SC.
You sound like what's that guy, Michael Buffer, like the guy who says like, "Let's get ready to rumble." You know what I'm talking about?
Let's get ready to rumble.
That's what I was like before the Vol segment. I was like, "Let's get ready to rumble." Okay, all right. So that concludes our thoughts on this week of sports. Thank you for watching. Hey, listen on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube. Thank you for watching. Peace.
Yeah, also, our predictions have not been updated, so obviously, if you want to see it, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please email us at tleash5588@gmail.com. I would prefer if you DM us on Instagram, all of our socials, Spotify, and maybe Apple Podcasts here in the future will be in there, and that's also how you find predictions. So if you ever want to know what predictions, if you weren't able to tune in on the podcast, but we also update most of the times the predictions before the podcast. So if you want to see a sneak peek.
Yeah, that's right. Vanderbilt's gonna win. You're right. Thank you.
What?
Yeah, Mom? Oh, you were telling me that Vanderbilt is going to beat Kentucky? Oh, okay. Sorry, my mom was just telling me that go Doors.
Go Vols.
Go Vols.